Alright, I think I am ready to go. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me. It's your friendly neighborhood tabletop android. Who am I? Who knows? I am a tabletop enthusiast. Nope. You think I know how to do this by now. I am an aviation enthusiast. I actually am a tabletop gaming enthusiast. But in this case, I'm an aviation enthusiast. Not a real pilot just yet. But I do plan to work on getting my PPL private pilot's license next year, and then work my way towards becoming a corporate pilot. So I have fallen in love with this game, with aviation, and I'm going to make a career change. I'm currently a software engineer, and my passion now lies with the skies. All right, so what are we doing today? I am going to jump back into some on-air company things. I can give a quick run through of the Pilot Club. So I am doing stuff with pilotclub.org. It's a great virtual group. They have a ton of group flights that they do every week. In this case, I am doing TPC Charters, which is a virtual airlines for on-air company, the economy game, and it is really good. We just finished our September. It's not here anymore. Let me see if it's on the blog. We just finished doing we have a September Top Gun. Alexander won that. And I mean, I guess it's, there's a lot of posts, so it probably is in the beginning. So we just did an Alaska Gold Rush, which was pretty fun for the group. I actually did not participate like I wanted to. I got caught up in doing other stuff, and the little bit of flying that I did do for charters last month, it was exciting. Once I got my bearing together, because it was a little rough. Let me see here. It was a little rough. There's certain airports that you're supposed to land at, and I didn't have it planned out properly. So when I first started it, I kind of was all over the place and didn't know what to do. Then I figured out how to map the places, and then once I had like a visual map of the airports that I needed to hit, then it was easier. Then I was able to pick up jobs that were close to the airport or in the direction of the airport, and it started to get fun. But by then it was just too late. Now it looks like I'm having network issues, so it's hopefully I won't have too much dropped frames. We'll see how it goes. But tonight, let's go ahead and get ourselves reacquainted with the Beechcraft V35 Bravo. That is what we're flying tonight. Let me see if I can find my tool. So we're flying the Bonanza V35B. I'm excited to get back into this thing here. We're currently at this airport, which is Allen. Look, you guys know by now that I'm pretty bad with words. Allegheny. So it's Allegheny County, which is in Pennsylvania. That's as much as I got. Okay, so we have maximum payload is 1100, maximum or practical range is 480, so yeah, we're certainly not trying to go past 480. We could go pretty fast, 172 knots. We can hold 3 seats. Will it show us business or economy? I always get those things mixed up. Alright, either way. Oh, you know what's funny? No, I am showing it. Yep, I am showing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the other one. And let's figure out what route, or let's figure out what job. First, let's see if we have any pending jobs, because I think I have some pending jobs from Alaska. KATL. No, I didn't take that. That's somebody else. That is Eagle Air. It's surprising to not see so many jobs. There's always like so many jobs on here. Okay. Oh, that's, you know what? Wrong app. That's why that's surprising. Let's take a look at pending jobs and you'll see more. And I guess surprisingly, no. Actually, I was wrong. Alright, great. That makes it easier. Okay, so let's take a look at the airplanes for the virtual airlines. And let's look for hours, and then we can look for jobs specific to that aircraft and its location. So we're going to do type. It is a Beechcraft V. I think I'm the only one, so that's easy. Boom. And here we have, just to verify, it is, okay, so here we can look at jobs for that particular airplane. So lots going on this week. I'm still streaming only 2 days a week, but I think I might switch it up. We'll have to figure it out. But today is On Air Company. Tomorrow is GA Tuesday, which I'm not streaming because I'm hosting and I gotta pay attention. But Wednesday we have something new. Well, I should probably stream that. Wednesday we have something new called Bush Wednesdays, and we're gonna take Bush planes, and we're gonna do just something very different off the cuff. You know, the Pilot Club tries to be very primo, make sure that we are very professional when we are interacting with ATC. This one will most likely be on Unicom. We'll be in the backcountry, so it may not be as, you know, cut and dry like all of the regular flight plans. This one we're going to do a lot of exploring, so that's going to be new. It's going to be new for the club. All right, so let us take a look and see what kind of coverage. We're in Pennsylvania. I'm hoping for that spy. I am hoping for coverage from Boston Center, but it looks like they've already been on for about 6 hours, so it is highly unlikely that we're going to get coverage from them, unless, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. They are legends. So, but I'm currently probably in this area, close to Pittsburgh, maybe. I don't plan on flying west, so we'll just work our way south. We'll just work our way south. One of these centers should probably pick up. We'll see. All right. So let's sort by heading. So we have north, anything that is above 90 and below 270. So above 90. So here we have 92, which is still pretty much east. Got this timed one we can't do. This one, this is an economy, so we can do that one. So I'm like on the edge of the West Pennsylvania, born and raised, and we can fly down to Maryland, which is about almost 200 nautical miles. So actually, first things first, let's see which is the most expensive. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, this one's interesting. This is a 12,000, which I like. Is a sights. Oh no, it's a medical. I thought it was I thought it was sightseeing, but actually that's the. Hey Beardo, how's it going, man? Good to see you, buddy. How's your day going today? Now this one's taking medical, but that's in a different direction. So let's take a look at Bad Spy again and see if I want to go that route. So that is Michigan, which is over here. So are we going to have any coverage over here? Hard to say, right? Hard to say. I feel like it's more guaranteed to get coverage on the East Coast rather than up here. There's a lot of action happening in Chicago. Is that an indication that there might be, or is it just a coincidence? They could just be training. I'm good, but I'm doing schoolwork, so I won't chat as much. How was your day? Hey, very cool. Stay in school. It's so weird. Glad you're doing schoolwork. My day was good. I'm honestly struggling a little bit because this weekend is when I'm gonna go pick up my motorcycle. So I'm very excited. That's kind of all I'm thinking about. So I'm trying to figure out how to stay focused and get through this week. All right, I think we're going to just stick with our original plan and just stay on the East Coast. So let's see how that goes. All right, so I was blinded by money, 12,000. 30% of 12,000 is Matt's. So let's go back to just looking at this one. So we're going over 90. Yeah. So this one looks decent. This one here's a $6,000 one. That's pretty much going to North Carolina. Oh, that's 314. Ooh, that is a little too far. I don't want to fly that much. So let's go with this one. We'll start off with going to Maryland, and we'll see how it works out. Cargo. So we have 3 passengers, which I believe they weigh 170 pounds each, and then they have additional cargo. So these are students, and we've got computer equipment. Oh, because they're students. All right, so W32. Let's see here. What is W32? Little nav map. Let's open up that bad boy. Let's take a look at W32. So it's untowered because it's red. Washington Executive. What I'm really seeing is if it's lighted. So Civil Twilight Real Date. Airport facilities. It has aprons. It has a VASI. It has gas, which is good. It has taxiways and parking. It does have hard runways and lighted runways. Okay. So it's small. Yeah, I mean based on having 1 runway maybe. This week is the last week of the grading period, so it's more stressful than usual. Oh. Have you been doing, okay? Have you been like pacing yourself grade-wise, or are you trying to catch up from incompletes and other good stuff? Now, I'm under the impression that Beardo's a good boy, but I don't really know. Alright, so we do have some taxis, we do have some parking, so that's always helpful or calming. And the reason why I'm stressed on this is because I've done so many flights where I don't have lights and things go bad for me. So I think I've learned my lesson. Land at decent airports. Alright, okay, so I think we're going to take that job. So go ahead and do that. And let's do some flight planning. How do I take this job? There we go. Take it. It hasn't been taken. Oh, you actually didn't see me take it. Alright, so let's go to the pending. Catch up only because I missed some days because my brother was in the hospital and I couldn't get a ride to school. Okay. Beardo is a good boy. How's your brother doing? Was it something serious or? Well, he was in the hospital. Was it something immediate or was it something serious and long term? And actually, I don't know why I'm asking such personal questions. You don't have to you don't have to answer these questions. I'm so sorry. Alright, so here's a flight that we just took, or the mission that we just took. So let's go ahead and get it queued up so we can figure out what we're doing. We're going to be using little nav map. I just got a subscription to Navigraph, and it was primarily because Saturdays the group, the pilot club, does a world tour, so they fly their airliners and business jets overseas. And I didn't have any of the graphs or charts or anything. So I finally bit the bullet and I got a subscription to Navigraph, and I'm trying to learn it. The funny thing is, well, actually, I can show it to you. The funny thing is, once I purchased it and did all the installs and stuff, I was like, oh my goodness, this is, I mean, it's cool, but the map portion, it's got low en route and it's got high en route, which is low IFR or high IFR. What does Sky Vector call it? Hold on. Sky Vector calls it world high and world low, right? So, but this is, I guess this is official stuff now. So this is high routes and low routes, and then they have a world map. And there's no sectional, and then I was like, huh, I'm so used to looking at a sectional. I concluded I do a lot more VFR flying than I do IFR. That's all. Asthma, his oxygen was below 90. Okay, gotcha. Is it? So I don't know much. Was it related to COVID? Was it related or affected by COVID, or was it just isolated to asthma? Below 90. I know that my watch, and I don't know how that works. I really should look it up one day. Am I really going to look it up? Who knows? My watch takes my oxygen levels, my blood oxygen level. I think it's cool. I don't know if it's super accurate, but I guess it is accurate because they normally do it from the finger. I guess they can also do it from my wrist. Who knows? Who knows? Technology's a cool thing. So I was trying to show you Navigraph, and on air is still loaded. There is, man, I say it all the time. So my oxygen is currently 98%. Yay! Alright, yeah, so it's a ton of IFR charts. Ton of IFR routes, and then we had this is the bread and butter here. These having all the stars and the approaches and the taxi. This is basically what everyone is getting this app for. So taxi, let's see, airport info. So yeah, so this should be really cool. This should be really fun. It was isolated to asthma and allergies, probably made it worse. Okay, you know what? I realize I'm asking you a ton of questions and you're trying to do schoolwork. So I will try not to pry any more into your life, Beardo, but I do appreciate you answering these questions. Thank you. I hope he's doing better, and good luck with you catching up, my friend. All right, yeah. So I'm really excited about these charts and reading these, these official Jepson charts. It makes it almost, closer to my goal of becoming a real pilot. All right, so enough Navigraph. Let's go back to a little nav map and figure out what we're doing here. So W32 is going to be our destination, and we are currently in Alpha Golf Charlie. Kilo Alpha Golf Charlie. Let's make that our departure. Ooh, that's over Washington, D.C. See, and I've said this time and time again. I was not the most studious student. So geography class, I barely paid attention. I'm learning more about our country, the states, and the cities through this game than I have in my. How long have I been out of school? We'll say 20 plus years of being out of school. Now having to deal with sectionals and planning and all that stuff is giving me the opportunity to practice more on knowing how many states we have and what's going on. No problem. I'm still working at the same pace. All right. This kid is a star. All right, so we have a total of 169 nautical miles. It's about an hour and 7 minutes if we're flying at 11,000 feet, which I do not plan for us to fly that high unless we need to. How do we figure out if we need to fly that high? Let's take a look at some sweet aviation weather. Specifically, we're going to look at the wind temps. I think I already had it on. We're going to look at the wind temps data here. So let's take a look and see the area roughly. So we are, Cleveland, PSB, AGC. So I want to say AGC. Here's AGC. So at 3,000 feet, the winds are 0-2 at 12 degrees. So 0-2, that's north, coming from the north, so that'll be good for us as we are heading southeast. So that'll give us some speed. I'm a star student in math, but I have absolutely zero reading comprehension. Oh man, oh, that's funny. So when I was going to school, I like math. And I didn't do very well, but I did like it. History was my favorite subject. Now, I couldn't retain anything. I think I liked learning about history, but I could care less about learning or memorizing the actual dates and stuff like that. Are you taking calculus yet, or pre-cal? No. Are you taking calculus? No, you are. Don't remember. You're in 10th grade, I think. So pre-algebra. One of those. Geometry. I'm gonna hit one of them at some point. Reading and history is my least. Oh, look at that. You know what's? So here's a problem. Reading and history, and then you use is instead of are because there's two subjects. There's multiple plural subjects. So that's evident that reading and history are not your favorite. Now the only reason why I know that is because my wife does a lot of reading. She's big into history, English and reading and all that stuff. So I get corrected all the time about my bad grammar. You're in 9th grade, got it. So are you doing pre-algebra in 9th grade? It's been such a long time. Okay, back to this thing here. So the winds, so at 6,000 feet, the winds are at 0.5. Oh no, I don't remember what the plus. So this is the. I don't remember what the plus means. It should be 7 degrees. Plus 7. It's positive 7 degrees. So this is. Oh, this is the speed. Got it. Okay, this one didn't have a temperature. That's what threw me off. Okay, so this is 0.5 degrees at 16 knots with the temperature at 7 degrees. Okay, got it. And then this is 0.4, so 0.2, 0.5, so either one of those are good. 23 seems great because that just gives us more. Now, once we start getting to 12,000, then it's 31 knots, but it's minus 2 degrees. Let's let me see here. 9,000 versus 12,000. So let's 12,000. That'll take us an hour and 7 minutes. 9,000 hour and 6 minutes. In this case, it seems like the climb itself is the problem. Alright, so I guess it doesn't matter. I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so let's check out a sectional chart and see if... Now, should we do IFR or VFR? Actually, you know what? Because we're crossing this, we need to do IFR. So this is a... I forget what it's called. And I studied on it once too. This is a very special. This is a very special area, and in order to fly in this area, you definitely need to have. This is a. It's a prohibited area. It's supposed to be on here too. It says it, but there's so much junk written on this thing. It's hard to read it sometimes. Waiting for it to render. That's okay. Nope. So okay. So this is a special. This is a special area. Either way, we're gonna have to do IFR. Well, okay. So sorry. Let me kind of back up, right? In VATSIM world, you don't have to. They don't really manage this area like they would in real life. But since we are planning to practice real life procedures, we are going to do as much as possible. So there's like a couple of, oh no, this one is interesting because I remember there's a couple of flights, there's a couple of flight plans that we would need to file. So we're just going to file the IFR, and we'll just do the IFR. We'll deal with it, it's fine. But let's pretend the reason why we're doing IFR is because of this special zone. There's more to it, but I don't think I'm going to get into it, nor do I remember at this current time. Oh yeah, update on my love interest. Yes, I was invited to go to a haunted house with her and her friends. Ooh, a haunted house. Now, are you afraid of haunted house? Because I am. What was it? A number of years ago, my friends took me to like one of those haunted houses. This was like the professional grade ones, and it scared the mess out of me. It was a trying time. I have a wild imagination. I know they're not real, but I couldn't convince myself at the time. But now I think I've grown up a little bit, and I'm going to try again to go with them to a different one. They were all very surprised when I suggested that we do a haunted house. All right, enough about me. So you're going to the haunted house. Are you afraid of those things? Are you going to be the protector, the leader, or are you going to hide behind your love interest? You like them? Okay. Good deal. Cool. So how many of her friends are going to be there? It's going to be like 6. It's going to be a big crowd. It's just going to be 4, maybe 5 of you guys. The only reason I'm saying is I'm thinking the smaller group setting would give you a more intimate time to hang out with your interest. Alright, IFR. So we're gonna do low. No, actually we're gonna do high because we are above. No, we did 9,000. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. There are so many things going on in my head. Alright, so let's see what options we have here. So we're gonna try and use some Victor Airways. And they're connected by VORs, so let's kind of start from over here. So it would make sense to get to this VOR, and then we can just land here. What VOR is this? This is Ronald Reagan. Okay. And that looks like a decent path. All right, so let's add Ronald Reagan's VO. It's a VOR DME, so DCA. Let's add that. Here we have the V8 airway. Let's follow this up to this Vortac. This is the Martinsburg. All right, so from Martinsburg. I'm trying to think if it's this one or this one that we should take. So I'm gonna go with this one. So now this has an X on there, so I'm assuming that I should not. This waypoint is not available as an entry point. So we're going to start out with PLEEZ as an entry point. We're gonna get to this flight or this Vortac over here. Then we're going to take, was there this one, V2, Yeah, we're going to take V268 to this one. That's Hagerstown. And then we're going to end up taking Victor 501. Ghost Miner 3. Why, hello there. How are you doing? We're just planning out an IFR route from Pennsylvania to Maryland. And because it is in a special zone, special airspace, we're doing IFR instead of the normal VFR. How's your day going, Ghost? Alright, so I think we're good there. And actually here, so now that we have waypoints, we can see that the wind is coming from a north, well, according to the little nav map, the wind is coming from a north east direction instead of what we saw in the I forgot what it's called. In the I'm looking for my I can never find it. My Chrome browser. It seems to always disappear on me. I was just there it is. My finger was on it too. I feel silly. Doing alright, just messing around in P3D. Very cool. So you know what? Darn it, I did it again. I was on the nav aids showing you in aviation weather the entire time when I should have been in planning when I was planning out the route. Dagnabbit. I'm telling you, I've done this before. Okay, so based on these winds, it looks like we'll have some crosswind the entire time and not winds behind us like I anticipated. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, so let's see here. So now that we have that, we can figure out if there is a SID for the airport that we are at, because it's a towered airport. And maybe this is where Navigraph can come into play. So this is KAGC. Let's start playing with that. Actually, are these... Navigraph does go on top. Okay. So now I need to find Navigraph, and let's do a search for KAGC. So that's this bad boy. Oh, I could have done the routing in here. Since I was doing IFR, so I gotta practice. Alright, so let's look for here. We do have a SID. We have one SID. What does that look like? Alright, so okay, good. I can scroll. Alright, now this SID is called so this is Allegheny County. Do you guys know if that's the correct pronunciation of Allegheny? Allegheny. I'm saying Allegheny County. I don't know if that's correct. Okay, so here's a Jepson charge. This is the first time I'm looking at one. September 22nd. September 2nd, 2022. So it seems to be up to date. Departure, elevation, transition. Allegheny 9 departure. All runways. SIDs require takeoff minimums. Let's see here. You know what? Doesn't even matter if there's no coverage. Takeoff obstacle nodes based on the runway. All right, so let's see what potential runway we're going to use. We're going to go back to little nav maps. Little nav map will give me the METAR, and currently winds are calm. Oh, that doesn't help. Winds are calm. Okay. Okay, so winds are calm, so we can go wherever we want. We are going in a southbound, so we're probably going to want to take runway 13 or 28. 28 is more southwest, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. So either 13 or 28. Top altitude is 3,000. I'm heading those until 1,700. Okay, routing. Expect radar vectors, maintain 3,000, expect further clearance, altitude 10 minutes. Okay. Initial climb. So here's 1-3, and yeah, that one. So 1-3, I think is definitely something that we'll be looking into. So depart heading 129 until you get to 1,700 feet. Okay. Where's the airport? I'm going to assume this is the airport. Allegheny AGC. There's a VOR. What? This isn't telling me anything. These are just all the VORs that are around here. Okay. Well, I guess that's fine. Let's pin it for now. You can only pin charts belonging to airports in current flight. Oh, do I have to do a flight? Enable moving. Oh, these guys. They're kind of like forcing me to use. Well, alright, I guess we'll use it. How do I back out? I just got a pop-up. Only 7 more paragraphs for 2 different classes. Yay! You are doing good. So I got a pop-up that says new flight. So I'm going to do a new flight. I'm going to do a manual input and chart mode. Okay, let me switch to desktop so you guys can see what this thing looks like. Origin airport is KAGC. I wonder if it's going to try and do it for me. I don't want it to do it for me. And where am I going to? I'm going to W Whiskey 32. Whiskey 32. Auto generate the route. I do not want to do that. So now I have some extra layers. So Ghost, just so you're aware, I just purchased Navigraph, so I'm pretty green using it. I've seen it enough time where I'm like, yeah, I think I got this. You know what? I should probably let it auto generate for me. Let's do auto route. Let's go with low. Let's calculate. Let me see what it does. Generating route. I don't know what it did. Origin, runway 4, destination. You know what? I don't see. Well, told me to get on that one. Alright, good deal. So can I see my, oh, here it is. Direct to NESTO and direct there. Okay. Alright, so that, I don't think that was helpful. So can I add it? It's searching. Add it. Doing. Add to route. Insert after, before, NESTO. Oh my goodness. Seems like a lot going on there. So this graph seems very different. This graph seems different than what we were doing. Well, no, actually it's not. I just needed to zoom out. So the DAC, so let's add that to the route. Insert after after IHD, right? Nope, that doesn't seem right. Oh, I don't like all this. Bruh. So where is IHD? Did I sign that? Indian head. I mean, I guess it's on here, so I must have assigned it. I don't know why it's doing Oxon. I didn't say Oxon, bro. Alright. Okay, so let's try and get to this one. Let's add this one before DCA. Okay. And I don't like this. I guess this is the approach. Gotta be the approach. Alright, so let's go to this one. That's a VOR, Hagerstown, I remember that. Do I need to pay attention? I don't know. I don't know what was our last thing. The DCA, MRB, IDH. So let's go after IDH. That makes sense. Okay. What I don't like is this. This is what I wanted. Insert into route before. So there's DCA. I already have. Do I have the airport? I think that's the airport. I want DCA and the VOR. VOR DME. So after that, ew, and it gives me that still. Alright, well, whatever. We'll live. Okay, so here we go. So now we can pin this. Fun times. Seems a little frustrating just to pin something. Okay, so that was our SID. So we have our SID. Yes. Taxi. We need our taxi. Bro, trying to pin you. Add you to the pin. Pin. Actually, where's my pin board? Is it under favorites? No. Is it under settings? What is the point of pinning? Because I don't know where my pins are. I don't know. Alright, this is different from ChartFox. Show my route. Auto type route. Oh, I can type it in. Oh, look at that. Alright, and these are my things. Okay, so this is my departures, which is that. I guess it's putting it in there. Alright, and then here are my arrivals and my approaches. Let's go with arrival first. Okay, tiki. Uh-oh. A couple transitions here. So, I don't know where any of these transitions are. Let's see here. Let's go with tiki. Oh no. It's... Oh, telling me to add it to route. Can you show me? Okay, there you go. Nope, that is too far down. Showing me all of them? I don't know what it's doing. Show me the B-bone. Alright, that one seems here. Ooh, all transitions. Okay, so none of those transitions. I don't want any of those transitions. Let's just go with the approach. And the approach is, how do I figure out the approach? Do I get METARs from this? You show me the runways, the longest. Alright, so let's look for a METAR. A little nav map. You know, little nav map seems to be really kicking Navigraph's butt right now. Alright, so the wind is 350 at 11 knots. So 350. So that's north, right? Yes. So I guess we should be 05. 05 is the one that we want. So let's get in here. RNAV direct. Go with an RNAV. Ooh, I know. Can we get a different one? Can we get a final? Yeah, final. Yeah, final seems a little better. Let's add it. Okay. So I think we're good. I don't know. You know, this seems super busy. So I don't know what to make of this. All right. So can we pin this? I don't think I know how to work this. You know what? I might have to learn how to work this offline and then come back. All right. Cool. So we're not going to use this. That was fun, but I don't know how to export it yet. We're going to use this. This one was easy, or I'm just comfortable. Let's go with this one. We're going to copy this route. Let us get started so we can, let's load in so we can get into, excuse me, so we can get into game. Nope. So we can get into VATSIM. That's what I was going for. Okay, V35. There you go. Change liveries. Now what I did or did not like, or no, I assumed, I think I made a bunch of assumptions. Okay. Customization, V35. I'm gonna open up Volanta, and you're not gonna be able, yeah you are, I can show it to you. It is part of planning. Alright, so what I've gotten from a Volanta is pretty cool, is that I can organize my planes. So 6 Yankee 49 Tango is, so the idea is that if I have these planes, I'm gonna have to learn how to manage a fleet. I'm gonna have to learn how to distinguish between what plane is what. So 6 Yankee is my registration number. Now that's not realistic, unfortunately, because 6 Yankee is actually the ICAO for Jamaica, which is where I was born. In America, the registration starts with November, so all of your airplanes that you have registered in the US will start with an N. So, you know, I'm kind of blurring the lines here, but doing the November sounds so boring. So 6 Yankee 49 Tango, that's going to be my plane. 494949, and now I'm trying to switch back to the game, but I have seemed to have lost it with my Alt tab. There it is. Alright, so let's go with 6 Yankee 49 Tango. There we go. Show the call sign, of course, livery and aircraft selected. Alright, so we were doing KAGC, I think. Yes, that looks right. And we're traveling to Whiskey 32. That looks right. Alright, so now, where do I want to park? I want to park in the general aviation section. This looks like the terminal. Well, actually it doesn't. Oh, this looks like a very small airport. I don't know anything about this airport. This over here looks private, like military. So let's just hang out over here. Not custom. Don't want to be airborne. Oh my goodness gracious. KAGC. There we go. Let's try that again. I don't want runway 10. I want to start out in a ramp. Hey, what's up, cat? Where are you headed this time? Just tuning in. So I am back with an on-air company trip, and we picked a route. We're in Pennsylvania. We're traveling to Maryland. I say that with confidence now. You should have seen me earlier. I was like, where are we? So this is right in the middle of Washington. Right in the middle of Washington. So I was gonna do a VFR, but because we have that special area, forget what it's called. I just learned it a couple weeks ago. So we're gonna do an IFR flight. So we spend most of our time just kind of planning, and me fumbling through Navigraph. Oop. Sorry, I have. Do I have? Okay, sorry, I had Volanta on. Okay, cool. Sorry, I was looking at my stuff. So we are doing a flight of 3 people, and we're gonna take them to Maryland. And let's see if we will get some coverage. Currently, still doesn't look like any coverage just yet. We are crossing our fingers for New York Center to come online. That'd be great. So we're gonna leave it at this, and we're gonna log in. And the whole point is just so we can start to get connected to VATSIM, and then put in these IFR routes that we spent some time working on. So let's go to desktop view so you can see all the stuff. So here we're gonna go ahead and connect. Actually, the call sign is going to be the same one that is in. That's all right. I think oh, it hasn't picked it up yet. Beechcraft. Okay, still on the CJ4 here, Beechcraft. So it's possible I don't have that profile, that aircraft. So let's assign it. There it is. So it should pick it up next time. Okay. So now I need to see what the call sign is for this Beechcraft. So if we go back to on air, and unfortunately they don't. Oh no, no. Is that it? 7676 Victor. Okay, good. They do have it. November 7676 Victor. We are a BE35 Bonanza. Alright, cool. So we should be connected. Hey, according to this, it looks like New York Center's on. Oh, they're like over here in the corner. Is that them? Yeah, so New York ARTCC. So this is New York here. So who covers over here? Alright. Whatever. We tried. Alright, so let's do our flight plan here. So here's a flight plan. IFR. We're going to go ahead and... actually, I copied it already, so let's go ahead and paste. There we go. Now we can do that. We don't need this first one. We do need this last one. And I don't like these directs. We don't need... well, I don't think we need these directs. I think you need them for like the FMS, but not for this. This is DCA and DCT. What is DCT? Is that direct again? DCA, and we did not really pick... I don't think we picked in... It was... oh no, it was 05 is what we picked. So let's see here. Show arrivals. So here's 5. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm trying to see what is the last waypoint that I can use. Capel is a waypoint that I can use, and that'll let ATC know what my intentions are, that I'm intending to land on runway 5 instead of the other way. So I think I'll do that. Cable, C-A-P-A-L. A-P-A-L. Right, this is not a flight. So now we're departing. So it is 2024 my time, so it's 024 Zulu. So let's go with 045. It's an hour and 11 minutes. We haven't even gotten off the ground. Goodness gracious. We're gonna say we have 2.5 hours of fuel. I don't know if we do or not. Cruising speed for the... Oh man. So I'll get, as I get back into flying with this thing, I will remember what these stats are. Cruising speed. Let me see here. Climb. I mean, I think I saw 170, but that just sounds like that just sounds ridiculous. Let's see here. Performance. Reserve, extra, climb, cruise, 165. And we'll be flying at 9,000 feet. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we're good. Let's go ahead and file that plan. So let's jump back into here, but... let's fix the camera first. Alright, so that is good. And we're gonna pause this so that you guys don't get seasick. We're gonna change it because flying at night is boring for you guys. There's nothing to look at. We're gonna change the time. Weather's still gonna be live. We're just changing the time. 8:20 in the morning. Alright, good deal. I think we're good. So now, get back. Did we finish everything? Because there's so many things to do. There should be a checklist. Right, so now we're gonna go back to on air, because that's what we need to do. Okay. So, yes. Fuel. So based on this that we figured out here, calculations is 343 with a reserve of... Really? That seems like a lot. Usually it's a much smaller number. Usually I think it's like 30%. So block fuel plus the reserve pack. So that is 365, so 563. So 563. So we have 140, and that doesn't seem right because we can only hold up we can only hold 264. So what is, and this is not crazy. It's only 182 miles. So what is going on here? This doesn't make sense. Block fuel exceeds. Yes, it does exceed. I don't think the calculation is correct. Let's edit this thing here. Usable fuel 264. Reserve. How is a reserve? That doesn't look right. Taxi fuel 13 pounds. Extra. Average 141. Vertical. Fuel flow is 112 pounds per hour. Cruise 99 pounds per hour. I'm gonna have to look at these numbers. But I don't think this reserve is right. Can't be right. Minimum fuel required for 30 minutes at 1500 feet. Above, okay, so 30 minutes of flight. So if we are, well, cruising, we're 99, so that's basically 100. So let's just say 100, bro. There's 100, there's that, so that's 3 something. So I mean, basically we're just gonna go full. It's really what that boils down to, is 264. So we are full on weight. We have passengers, we have the crew, cargo, and passengers. And we still have extra. So, alright. We have cargo. We have 3 passengers in the economy class. Alright. So they're going to take our money. And now we're going to work on our fuel settings here. So we're going to go full fuel, 190. I do not weigh 190, but it's nice of them to think that I weigh 190. And we're going to have a front passenger of 170, aft passenger of 170, and another, okay, good. This limit is huge. Okay. Okay, now here's the trick. It's nighttime. I need to set this off. I need to change this offset. If I put it to 12 hours, it'll put the time up 12, but then I have to minus 4. So it is currently 00, so that's 12. So it'll be noon, UTC. And then if I minus 4 from that, it'll be... Why can't I do that? It'll be 8. It'll be 8 a.m. Okay, so that means I should have some light. So let's... Because I don't want to fly in the dark. Alright, good deal. Payload. So here we are missing 894 minus 785. We're missing 109 pounds. So let's add 109 pounds to this bag. Right, so 85, 194. Quick maths. 194. Boom. Okay, and then we should be good on everything. Bum bum bum. Alright, so we're not going to track this yet until we're finished with inputting our stuff in here. Ooh, there's so much to do. Alright, so let's go ahead and... I feel like I haven't flown this plane in a long time. We're going to open up everything. While that's happening, let me go ahead and check the audio levels. It's a good time to check the audio levels, see if it's too loud, and it seems fine. It doesn't seem loud. It doesn't seem too loud. Okay. Let me see here. So we're using these. This is full. Right, those don't work. Alright, okay. And I think, yep. So things look like they... Bruh, this guy just parked right in front of my plane. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with this fool? Don't hit my... Oh. Oh, now he's just messing with me. The disrespect at this airport. Okay. Can I see my 6 Yankee 49 Tango? Okay, good. Alright, so let's go ahead and check out that checklist. Oh. Before we do that, just make sure that this VFR map is the right one. Okay, good. So that means that I should be able to get data. I love it. Nope, click on it. Is that the right one? There's no data? Oh, there's a search. You're supposed to be able to just click on it, man. KAGC. Let's do that. There it is. Okay. Alright, cool. So that's the right one. We're looking at... What are we looking at? Checklist. Oh my goodness. So before to start the engine parking, so let's get out of there and set up my bit of software for the throttle to show me whether or not I'm on. Okay, so parking brake is set. Avionics is off. Yep. Circuit breakers, landing gear. flaps are at 0. Where's my flap switch? This one. Okay, flaps. Cow flaps are open. So that's this one. Open. Okay. Lights is required. AP trim off. Fuel selector to the fullest. We're gonna set it to this side. Nope, that's what always happens. Let's set it to the right side. Battery switches on. Alternators on, and that was just to check the fuel. Now, here we have a little bug because we can already see what the fuel is without turning on the battery. Alright, so all that's good. Check out this engine here. Mixture is rich. Put in the red one. Oh, let's actually close these doors since we're going to turn everything on. Prop max. Let's get that to the max. Throttle is full. The electric pump. And it says until fuel full. But this one just like jumps up. There it is. Oh. Haha. It wants the battery on. Battery and alternator. There we go. It's full or peak. Throttle. Now let's reset this throttle to 1/4 of an inch. Magnetos to start. What is that? Come on, guys.
Clear prop.
And let's get the RPMs to 1200. Where's my RPMs? There we go. Oh, you know what? I messed up. Let's stop that. I'm supposed to set. Okay, so I don't know how much battery I have, so let's actually turn on the engine. Let's try it again. And the whole point of that is so I can run the alternator, so that I can now put in our coordinates. That's what that was all about. you really need to check this one. Okay, so let's see what our flight plan looks like. It's just these two things. So I'm going to be swapping back and forth between a little nav map. Alright, so PLEEZ is our first waypoint. Let's go with P. There's two E's. There we go. K6 is the United States. Let's add that waypoint. Let's go with IHD. Indian Head seems right. A couple things, but K6 is our region, so that's that. We'll do that. Next one is HGR. So Hotel Delta. I was gonna say Roscoe Romeo. Now this one is EH. HDR? No, it's HGR actually. I had it wrong. Ooh, let's hope it doesn't take that. Let's hope it gives me options. There we go, options. K6. Okay, HGR and then Mike Romeo Bravo. Mike Romeo, then Bravo. It's not picking up anything. Oh, it took a while. It took a while. Okay. There goes K6. And then DCA is our next one. Good lord. Delta, Charlie, Alpha, Washington, D.C., K6. Okay, and I think that's it. So actually the last one is Capel, but we'll leave that one alone because I think we'll input that one. Alright, so that to PLEEZ. Alright, so I think we're good there. Let me double check and see if we have any coverage. Currently we do not have any coverage, so we're going to swap to 122.8. And what I'd like to do is let's just monitor in New York. Easier to find them in vPilot. So there's New York Center, Boston Center. So we're just going to monitor New York Center on COM2. So we're going to do 125, 325. All right. So let's open up COM2. I can't tell if it's open or closed. Okay, it's, yeah. So eventually we should, I guess once we get closer in the air, I don't know. Okay, so we got 122.8, and then down here we have the COM2. The volume, okay. All the volumes are on. You're in alt mode. This is that. So let's see here. Let's set this to 9,000. Actually, we were doing a SID, right? We were doing a SID. Okay, we're doing a SID, and the SID came out of this, Allegheny, right? It's this one, and we are choosing runway 13, take off obstacle notes, let's see here, standard, if authorized, there's a pole, okay, should be fine. Climb 129 until 1700, top altitude 3000. So let's go ahead and set this to 3000 instead of 9000. And then let's set our heading to 129, our heading bug to 129er. Oh my goodness, over there. So there goes 13, and let's go back. So 129. All right. Let's see here. So this is set by 500 feet per minute. That's typical. Climb rate on this plane. I have to go back to the specs. Climb rate is almost 1,000. Let's go with like 800. Keep it safe. No, let's go with 900. Yes. All right. Oh. I guess I didn't mean to turn autopilot on just yet. Okay. We can do heading mode. Nav approach, okay. Autopilot is back on. It always wants to be on. Alright, and I think we're good, so let's go ahead and turn off things. Alright, so now that we have that, let's go back to on air. And we're going to go ahead and start tracking. Hopefully the light is fine. Hopefully my calculations for night is fine. Seems to be okay. Okay, good. Alright, I'm digging it. So let's turn on our beacon because they will yell at us for not having our beacon on. Have everything up, so we have props, that wasn't props, that was mixture. Learn your plane mark. Now let's turn it on.
Your flight will be monitored until you land and shut down the engines.
Oh yeah? Thanks, buddy. Thanks for letting me know. Alright, so now we're gonna do Pido.
FedEx 2325, clear direct land Casper Lima Romeo Papa rejoin J6.
We're gonna taxi, so let's do that. And then I need to remember where we are. So we are currently oh boy, this is Allegheny County, Allegheny traffic. Okay. Allegheny traffic, Beechcraft, November 7676 Victor, taxiing to runway 13, Allegheny traffic. Alright, that wasn't so bad. Now, where is... Let me see if I can use, because the whole point is I wanted to use these. 13 is over here. I'm probably on the upper west ramp, so I could cross. I can do Charlie. Charlie, Alpha, Golf. Charlie back there. That's Alpha and Golf. So Alpha and Golf. I guess I'm looking at this. So I gotta turn around. Okay. Alright, well, let's turn around. 5 more paragraphs. Alright, man, you are getting there. Just like I'm getting there. We're all getting there. 5 more paragraphs. I believe in you, Beardo. You can do it. You can do it, buddy. Alright, so I think I'm good. Why am I freaking out? I don't know. Let's do this. I do not have any chalks on. It must be my weight then. So I gotta put in about 1500.
Good evening, New York, United 1205 at 280.
Oh, you know what?
1205 New York, welcome.
I had the brakes on. I had the brakes on my feet, on my pedals.
Charlie Golf Echo Romeo Juliet, check your microphone, continue muted.
This one's actually interesting. So I seem to be pushing down on the brakes while I'm pedaling. Been like 3 math assignments and 1 biology.
Echo Romeo Juliet, New York. Be advised I do control Harrisburg around as well. Next time, give me a call for clearance. You are going to have a reroute over to Zabreski tonight.
Bruh, I don't know where I am. Where I am. I got lost.
Charlie Golf Echo Romeo Juliet.
Okay.
Legacy Echo Romeo Juliet.
So 13 is over here, which means that's where my nose is going to be pointed. So I need to be going this way. All So let's just hang out on the old Alpha track here. Them like 3 math assignments, 1 biology. That's how I'm gonna read it. Them. You're super southern. So I guess golf. So I think I have an idea as to where I am.
Like the Echo Romeo Juliet. Looks like you just turned into a
Hey, from I was just changing in on standby.
There we go. Charlie Golf, Legacy Echo Romeo Juliet. Radar contact 15.
All right. So this is.
Southeast of Harrisburg.
I forgot the name of the place already. This is Allegheny.
West heading 020.
Nope. So far gone. Allegheny. Allegheny traffic. What am I doing?
Charlie Golf Echo Romeo Juliet. You can climb and maintain flight level 330 for now. And you
Can't
are
see.
cleared to the Gabreski
Actually, I
Airport.
can't see here
via
either.
radar vector
Crossing runway. What runway is that?
Alpha Alpha Yankee Kilo Tango
What
216
runway is that?
to Kingston,
Runway
India Golf
10.
November
10.
Victor 157.
Allegheny
Park,
traffic,
Hotel,
November
Alpha,
7676
Alpha,
Victor,
Romeo,
crossing
Papa,
runway
direct.
10
On Yankee flight
via Gulf, Allegheny traffic. Alright, let's continue moving on. I think it's clear.
Golf Echo Romeo Juliet, read active correct, receive direct lead.
Alright, so that's whoa. So that looks like a threshold. Shouldn't be passing. There goes 1-3. It looks like I'm going to be backtracing. Allegheny traffic, November 7676 Victor, backtracing runway 13, Allegheny traffic. Yeah, definitely there's no taxi there. Alright, and I was told that once you're backtracing, you should probably stick to one side so that people have an idea that you're not like taking off. So it makes sense. Ooh, why does 1-3 look like it's closed? I didn't see that in the NOTAMs. It's got a big yellow X on there. I should not be using 1-3.
Simply 159 New York Center, hello.
Okay.
Cross the bridge at maintain 4000. Wire altimeter 3017.
Alright, so let's get our flaps up or down. Flaps down. Switch landing to taxi. Let's get our beacon. Oh, no. Nav and strobe on. And we're gonna, okay, so let's see if we can monitor this. So they want us to climb this heading until we get to 1700 feet and then be vectored, but most likely we're just gonna go to autopilot. Alright. And we don't want to pass 3,000. Allegheny traffic, November 7676 Victor, taking off runway 13, Allegheny traffic. Alright, that's it. Let's do this. Putting in some of that right rudder. I'm trying to take my foot off of the brake. While I'm doing this, I need to set my... Yeah, this runway is definitely closed. I should have looked at the NOTAMs.
United 1770 New York Center, low climb maintain flight level 200 direct to Sarah.
Airborne time logged.
Alright, so let's go here. We're going to try and climb 900 feet per minute.
November Tree 8 Echo Papa, New York, hello. The Reading altimeter is
to 1700.
3019er. Proceed direct one far.
Ooh, I did not realize I was stalling. Let's put up the flaps. Try and get some more speed, so let's stop trying to go 900 feet per minute. There goes 17. I guess we're crossing 1700, so we can just keep doing that. Alright. We don't want to go to we don't want to go to 3000, so we're good here. I just engaged the trim, so I can then engage the autopilot. Alright, so let's do autopilot and let's do nav instead of heading. Well, let's stick with heading. Nope, it's doing its own thing. Just like autopilot does. Beautiful. So I'm switching this to GPS, and hopefully we can... Let's take a look at that magenta line and then see if our plane will follow it. Let's go with nav. The autopilot is on. We're going to engage. We don't want to cross 3000. Hopefully it'll stay. Apparently I don't know how to do so. I clicked on arm. Thought it did it manually. Maybe I don't know. Alright, so far this seems okay. So let's go to 9,000. Oh no, I think let's hold off on this until we get to, it's 15 miles though, until we get to PLEEZ. So in this case, let's slow this down a little bit. Are burning a lot of fuel. We're at 3,000, so let's start trimming. Now where is my EGT? There we go.
Charlie Golf Echo Romeo Juliet, proceed direct Daisy.
Direct Daisy, Echo Romeo Juliet.
It's not going to make you go up.
Thanks.
Alright, let me check and see if we have any coverage. Oh, now I'm trying to find my tools. So there's VPilot, there you go, VATSPY. It had a different screen on there, so I was lost. Okay, still no coverage. Alright, so in this case, this is going to take a while, so let's go ahead and start climbing. I think we're clear. This is pilot's discretion. Why is that not working? because Alt hold I think is on. Alright, there we go. So let's actually give it some power.
Yeah, 1205, you're leaving my airspace. Please on center close. Radar service terminated. Frequency.
We're gonna go at 800 feet per minute.
Alright, over to Unicom. Good night, United 1205.
Goal is 9,000. Alright, good. We should be able to take off the landing lights. Alright, we're good there. Fuel. We'll get to 3/4, we'll switch. This is 5 nautical miles. Let's increase our range.
United 1770 cross Lurch at and maintain 14,000. Harrisburg altimeter 3020.
Alright, so this, I like this because here's the fuel, the gallons remaining and the gallons used. So I've used 3 gallons so far, so here's what's left.
United
And then with
1770
this
New York.
one, you have this indicator that says how many gallons to your destination. So at this current rate, I only need 5.8 gallons to get to my destination, which
Shall I go Echo Romeo Juliet?
This
Send
makes
across
sense.
Daisy at and maintain 8,000 altimeter.
I've got 2 hours of flight.
Daisy at maintain 8,000.
I'm using 17 gallons right now. 5 gallons to
3018.
destination. That doesn't sound. That doesn't
3018
sound
Echo Romeo Juliet.
doesn't sound right at all. This thing's broken. It's misleading me.
United 1770 New York.
So I'll leave this here so I can. Well, I can at least I can see it here too. Let's see how much we have left. Okay, that's fine.
United 1770 New York Center.
United 1770.
United 1770 cross Lurch at and maintain 14,000. Harrisburg altimeter 3020.
Oh my
Very close.
god, I am the most.
North-
I'm the worst pilot.
Lyric. And lyrics at
Let's get those.
14,000. United
Let's get those wheels up.
Read that correct.
Thank you.
Here, Skywalker 2277 miles northeast of Valley.
New York Central United.
I should probably be able to pick up speed now.
Going for 170.
Goodness gracious.
United 1036 New York, turn left direct Robbinsville. Climb and maintain flight level 220.
Copy. Has complete heading active for United 1036?
It's not a heading, sir. It's direct to Robbinsville intersection. It's a VOR. It's Romeo Bravo Victor.
Copy. Heading direct Romeo.
You know,
Bravo
I thought that was a
Victor,
girl.
Flight level 220.
I sometimes feel
Walker
terrible.
2207 New York, hello. Cross Lendy at maintain flight level 1900250 off.
Copy India 19025.
November 38 Echo Topic, expect visual approach runway 4.
Down to 3 paragraphs. Beardo, you are doing it, man. Keep it going. 3 paragraphs to go. Beardo, Beardo, Beardo. You can do it.
38 Echo Papa, yeah, you can expect the Vector's final ILS 04 until it's full.
Alright, so that is New York Center that you're hearing, but they're not controlling me. I just don't want to be lonely tonight. Scoot.
FedEx 2325 leaving my airspace. Washington Center closed, radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
Oh, over to Unigami, have a good night, Paddock 23 fast.
See ya. Walker 2207, New York approach 128.12, 2812, see ya.
2812.
So still climbing. 7,000 feet.
JetBlue 159, cross Jim at
So we have a 17 knot wind.
altimeter 3017.
It's a crosswind.
JetBlue 159, plan the ILS Zulu, runway 98 approach.
Alright, so once we get back to cruise, I think I'll open up the POH for this book and just get, for this plane, and get a little familiarized with the specs. Because I plan to be flying this, excuse me, a lot for on air.
November 38 Echo Papa, turn left 20 degrees, vectors ILS runway 4.
Left 20 degrees, vectors ILS, runway 4, Via Papa.
United 1770, you're leaving my airspace. Potomac approach is closed. Radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
Alright, so we are at 7? We're almost at 8,000.
United 1770, New York Center.
Alright. So we can we're at like 120 knots, so we can go ahead and pull 900 feet per minute. We have enough airspeed. I think I'm just gonna push the arm button once we get close, because I don't think it does it. I don't think it does it for us. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna push no. 'Cause this is like this is altitude hold.
November 38 Echo Papa, turn left heading 300.
Yeah, I don't know.
3003 at Echo Papa.
Alright, almost there. I'm looking to see if this comes out by itself, but it doesn't look like it's doing it. Nope. So I'm going to do it. Let's arm it. Alright. Roughly 9,000. Oh, you know what? I didn't even check the QNH. So this altitude could be wrong. Did our place have QNH?
United 1770, New York.
It had 3024. Oh boy.
JetBlue 159, descend and maintain 6,000.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we're over 9,000. That's fine. How do we do this?
United 1770, New York.
Oh, look at
New York
that.
Center, go ahead for 7070.
It's doing
United
it by itself.
1770, you're leaving my airspace. Potomac approach is closed. Radar services terminated, frequency change approved.
I like that.
Roger, sir. Unicom 122.8. Thank you for the service. Good night. See ya.
Hey,
Bye-bye.
is that good on air company? Wait, can I read? Is that good? Yes. Hey, Gilligan. That is on air company
Here's Center at 621.
that I'm doing. Let me see if I can
coming
show
to
you. So I've got
United 621, New York Center, good evening. Squawk 7164.
not Navigraph, but I'll show you some of that on air. And I just heard someone follow. Hey there, Gilligan. Thank you
Charlie
for the
Golf
follow.
Echo
I
Romeo
appreciate
Juliet.
it.
That's Legacy Golf Echo Romeo Juliet. You can contact New York approach 128.12.
So I am currently doing a
I'm putting in 12.
passenger list. I've got 3 passengers, They're students and they have computers, so we're all going to assume that they're engineers.
30 to the south of
And
Robbinsville.
I'm taking them to Maryland, which was about 174,
Metro 4354
about
New York
180 nautical miles from where we started.
7172, Metro 4354.
And we did a flight plan. We were doing IFR, and I typically do VFR, but this one we were flying into the special flight zone at that Washington D.C. area, so I switched it up to IFR so that we're kind of compliant.
Alright, 1036,
We're about
approved as requested. You got 2
9,000
minutes
feet.
and then
Alright,
you're
so we
getting
should
a
start
descent.
let's
Copy.
kind of do some cruising stuff here. So let's figure out our fuel first.
Report back with me.
Now, I don't know if this is the right way, but basically whenever the EGT starts to go down, it goes up and then it starts to go down, then I stop.
Consider Metro 4354. I'm getting a mode
start
Charlie
cruising
indication in the
at about
client here, but I'm
2500.
getting a transponder failure in the cockpit. Do you see me?
Metro 4354, yeah, I have you radar contact right now about 5 to the south of Robbinsville.
So
flight
currently
level 390,
we're
no
pushing
issue there.
12
descend across
gallons,
News
12.6
at
gallons
and
per
maintain
hour.
flight level 270.
We've used 38.
Perfect.
We have
We'll descend
38
across
gallons
flight
left.
level 270, Metro 4354.
So according to this, we only need 12 gallons to get to our destination.
JetBlue 159, fly present
I don't
heading
know if that's
vectors,
true.
ILS Zulu, runway 9
I don't trust it.
Flight present heading.
Thanks. Gilligan, do you fly? Do you
Night
do some
1036, thank you
some
very
on-air
much.
stuff?
Cross Troy's at and maintain 12000,
we're passing
altimeter
IDH.
3019er.
Which I don't remember what IDH is.
Copy 9,
Indian. I think it's Indian.
to Troy, can
Indian
you
something
the
or other.
altitude?
12,000 feet.
12,000 feet for United Centric.
And altimeter 3019er.
Altimeter 310.
There we go. Oh, it doesn't even tell you.
3019er.
3019er, correct.
Give it the real name.
No worries.
All right. So I think it was Indian Head. BO.
310, about
Vortex.
20 knot, something like that.
Oh, snap. I just accidentally hit my mixture.
Southwest 1412 New York, descend to maintain flight level 180, standby per squawk.
Alright, down on 180, we'll stand by.
Southwest 1412, squawk 7173.
7173 in the box, Southwest 1412.
All right, so 68 miles to our HGR. Let me look at nav map and see what HGR is. It's Hagerstown. So Indian Head, Vortag, and now we're on our way to Hagerstown. Is that a VOR? Oh yeah, it's a VOR. So we're just flying to a bunch of VORs. So we're hitting about 149 ground speed, and that's with the crosswind that's coming right now. It's at 23 knots.
JetBlue 159, turn right, heading
We're gonna go ahead and
340.
switch because I did say when we get to 3/4 that we'll switch tanks. Switch it to left. There I put on a
Southwest 1412 radar contact,
Let's do
12
it.
miles east of Atlantic City, VOR. Flight level 299er, descend to maintain flight level 182.
Alright, down on 180, 1412.
So 140 indicated, but because of the wind, only 149 ground speed. So about 26 minutes until we get to HGR. Okay, so things seem to be calm. Let's go ahead and pull out let me pause this, what's this thing called? Motion tracker, so you guys don't get sick. Alright. Had to step away. Where are you now? So I am. looking at. Hold on, let me show you my desktop. Looking at. Actually, no. Let me show you little nav maps. I'm trying to figure out how to do these things nice. Do these transitions. Okay. So based off little nav map, I am like not even halfway to my destination.
JetBlue 159 descend and
9:14.
maintain 3000.
I was supposed to try and be somewhere at 9:30. I spent a lot of time doing flight
JetBlue
planning.
159 descend and maintain 3000.
So it's possible that we might end up. Let me see if we can find an airport, because I do want to be somewhere. So let's see.
United 1036, you're leaving my airspace. Potomac approach is closed.
Alright, so
Radar
this
service
one-
terminated. Frequency change approved.
This one might be fun.
United 1036, frequency change.
This is HGR. We're on our way.
No
I'm gonna try and see if we can land at Hancock.
Very slowly.
38 Echo Papa, unable. You're at my MVA.
Roger.
Yeah. Let's see if we can land at Hancock, because
November 38
right on
Echo
the
Papa, you're 4 miles from GSAG. Turn right heading 010. Maintain 4,000 until established on
Hancock,
localizer.
alright.
Cleared. ILS runway 4 approach.
What type of flying today? So we're doing on-air company.
010 maintain.
I
4,000.
have 3 passengers
ILS runway
with some
4
cargo,
approach.
and we're doing an IFR flight. So I chose a route, a low, using some airways, some low airways, some Victor
Southwest
Airways,
1412
Victor
descend and maintain
268 and all that good
6,000.
stuff.
The Kennedy altimeter
But
3017.
I do need to stop streaming at 9:30. So I'm going to change my plans and head to this to Berkeley Springs.
Metro 4354, contact Boston Center
What is this-
134.7,
what is this place called?
347 Lucia.
How do I find it? Potomac.
Good night.
Potomac Air Park. I'm gonna land at Potomac Airport. It is 413 is the elevation. It has a right traffic pattern for 29. Okay. I was asking about the plane. Oh, well, young lady, I'm flying the infamous Doctor Killer, the V35 Bravo. This is the Beechcraft Bonanza. Kind of my dream plane, and it's really only because of this detail, which I don't believe does anything special, but it just looks awesome. Now the Bonanza, it has a special place in my heart. I kind of, when I started
November
envisioning
38 Echo Papa, wind
my map.
050
No, I did it
at
again.
4 for runway 4. Clear
Thank
to
you.
land.
Get too busy
Runway
talking.
4 clear to land.
Okay, so this is the Bonanza. Now, Bonanza has a special place in my heart because when I was playing it on the Xbox and kind
Echo Papa,
of
my autopilot.
pretending to fly my family from one destination to another, I did most of it in a Bonanza.
Night
So I think
621 leaving my airspace.
I think
Cleveland closed.
it,
Radar service terminated.
I
frequency
married or
change.
melded the idea of flying and my family with the Bonanza. So it has a special place in my heart for that reason. But then its VTAL is just so sexy. Look at it. It almost looks like a flying fish. Okay, let's get back to the issue at hand, which is where I'm trying to land somewhere that is not where I was originally trying to land. Okay, so I'm going to do a direct to Whiskey 35. Let's see.
Echo Papa going.
Alright. So let's go
3
ahead and
Echo
just
Papa, Roger. Cancel
change
landing
everything
clearance.
here.
Fly runway heading. Climb and maintain.
let's do a
4,000.
direct to Whiskey.
4,000 planning on winner. Cancel landing clearance. On 19, 4,000 over. Correction 3 Echo Papa.
Whiskey 35. It is the Potomac, Berkeley Springs, West Virginia. Alright. Activate, and it's going to take us directly. Because we're in NAT GPS, it's just going to follow. We've got 14 minutes until we get to Whiskey 35. Now, let's see if we can find some information about this airport so we can figure out how to land on this thing. Let me see if I can do anything here. If I hit enter, okay, good. So it gives me waypoints. So elevation is 411.
Negative, sir. It's a vector through the local.
So when we come in, we're going to have to come in
turn
about
left, turn
1,400
heading
feet.
180. Sorry about that.
1,000 feet above ground. It's got an, it has an RNAV approach. I wasn't expecting that. We've got runway 11 and 29.
Southwest 1412, contact
surface.
New York, approach 120.05, 2005.
Alright, 2005.
It's just got the one runway. Okay. So approach,
No worries.
or the frequencies, there goes
Strictly
RNAV
159,
11.
turn left, turn heading 120, intercept the localizer.
11. So this is, so where are we headed now? Okay, so 11 would probably be the better route for us since we're already headed in that. We're already tracking that now. The 11. Does it have an ILS? It's not. Closest NDB. You're not going to tell me anything about a VOR? Okay. Alright, so RNAV, it's
Strictly 159, 6 miles from Associate, maintain 3000 until established on localizer.
let's see if we can, so we have an approach. RNAV. We're going to load it. So now in our, oh, look at, this thing is off. This thing is off. Okay, so let's go ahead and correct this. You know how we can do this? Let's go ahead and get on a 45-degree angle. Let's go header. Heading. So the idea is, I don't think it's tracking GPS, so I'll need to get the nose pointed into the line, and then it should
Echo Papa,
pick it
climb,
up.
maintain 4000 if you're not already.
I'm at 3000, climb, maintain 4000, straight on Papa.
Tripoli 159, sorry for the late vector there. Wind
All right,
010
there's a
at
message. So
10,
let's
runway
switch
9
this
right, you're
back
clear to
to
land.
nav, and let's see if it picks it up. Let's see if it picks it up, or let's see if it tries to turn
No
around.
worries, stay
and
with
go
me. I
somewhere else.
control all the way down to Philly
If it
delivery.
does,
so I'll
then,
taxi you to parking as well.
then we'll just do this manually. No approach is active. That's fine. I'm waiting to see if it's going to. And it's not. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just do this. We'll just do this manually. Whoops. Heading. Okay, so 119, let's see, is that? Let's see here. 119 looks about right. That's 120. Okay, so we're going to stick with that one. Looks like it's going in the right direction. But we won't be doing an RNAV. There's an airplane in front of us. How high are you? I cannot tell. Or how low are you? Looks like we're on an intercept course. Let me see if I can... don't see it within 17 nautical miles of me. Okay, well now now I see everything.
New York Blue Streak 5597 is just flight level 308 to 350 smooth.
So 5 nautical miles.
Blue Streak 5597, New York Center, squawk 7121.
7121 in the box, Blue Streak 5597.
Alright, well I don't see the plane, so I guess we're safe. I guess we're safe for now. The plane has passed me.
November 38 Echo Papa, you want the ILS-4 again, or can you take the visual?
I'll take the visual 38 Echo Papa.
38 Echo Papa, roger, turn right turn, heading 220.
Right turn 220.
Alright, Whiskey 35, what is the name of this place? This is Potomac.
Blue Streak 5597, radar contact 21 miles southwest of Harrisburg, VOR, flight level tree 10. Climb and maintain flight level tree 50.
Climb and maintain flight level 350, Blue Streak 5597.
Potomac. I don't know why I'm struggling with these names. Alright, so we have about 8 minutes, 21 nautical miles. And are we north? What are we doing? We are traveling eastbound, so north is that way, so we are west. Potomac traffic, Beechcraft, November 7676 Victor. We are about 20 nautical miles west of the airport. We are with intentions of landing runway, I don't remember, runway 11. Potomac traffic. So since we're doing this visually, we can't do...
November 38 Echo Papa, airport's at your 3 o'clock, 1 mile.
We're not doing the RNAV, so we're going to have to come in at a regular pattern, 4,200 feet.
November 38 Echo Papa, cleared visual approach runway 4, report established on the final approach course.
Clear for the visual approach runway 4, I'll report established, 38 Echo Papa.
Let's get rid of the altitude hold. Start doing this. Yes. Okay. Let's descend at about 800. Can we see the airport? Probably not. Alright, so we're tracking 128. Let's try and get this closer. Closer to on target. Ooh, I think I see it. I see it right there. Now we can just come in straight if we really want to. It's right next to a river. Alright, so give me a minute. I'm trying to stretch to move something for the pedal.
New York Center, hello. American 1113, 15,100, setting via the path 3.
American 1113, New York Center, good evening, squawk 7156.
So that should allow me to use my rudders without pushing on the brakes.
For American 1113.
So are we descending?
There, New York Center,
no, we're
United
not
254,
descending.
descending
I did not do
12,000,
that.
down to 10,000, and
now
for
we
passenger
need to descend
arrival
at
from
11,000.
Philadelphia.
United 254, New York Center, radar contact at 8 miles south of PATS at 1,800.
So I'm looking for that river that's on the
3017.
left-hand
Expect
side.
the ILS Zulu, runway 9 right approach.
Expect ILS Zulu runway 09er approach. Thank you. United 254.
9er right.
Yeah, 09 right. United 254.
United 254, fly
All right,
present
so here's
heading,
a river.
descend to maintain
We're just
7,000.
gonna try and get lined up with that river.
7,000, United 254.
If not, we'll
And present heading.
if coming in straight's not gonna work, then we can always come.
United 254.
We can always
American
come
1113,
around
radar
and get
contact,
on base.
13,300,
on
Philadelphia altimeter is 3017. Expect the ILS Zulu runway 9 right approach, 8 is Charlie's ground.
Going pretty fast.
Roger, we'll
Cut
expect
back.
9er right Zulu, altimeter 3017 in Philly, American 1113.
170 ground. I do love descending.
Roger,
Makes
Apollo,
my
sign
plane
off
go
for it.
fast.
38 Echo Papa, runway 4, clear to land, wind 050 at 4.
Runway 4, clear to land, 3 Echo Papa.
Alright, so it is in visual right over there. We are pretty
United
high.
254, turn left heading 010.
Turn left heading 010.
I do have
United
passengers with
254.
me. Can I bugger out? Can I... No more paragraphs. Beardo, you did it! You son of a gun. You
Tripoli
did it.
159, welcome to Philadelphia. Taxi
Good-
to parking
good job,
via
man.
Sierra, November, cross runway 9 or left, continue November to parking. Have a great day.
Descending. 871. Look at it, all caps.
You as well.
I love it. Well, I am high. So I'm descending at 1,000 right now. Hopefully we'll
York
hopefully
Center,
we'll
did
get
you
there,
say
but
left
most likely not,
090?
because I am coming. in
010 on the heading for United
See
254.
if I can.
Oh, 010, thank you.
What happens if I pull back
No worries.
all my power?
United 254, descend and maintain 4,000.
Down to 4,000, United 254.
All right, pulling that power back. Did it help? I don't think so. It helped a little bit. All right, gotta go and shower and sleep. Have a good rest of your landing. See you Friday, hopefully. Indeed. All right, Beto, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you being here, pal. And good luck with finishing this week strong.
United 254, same intentions. Looks like you're on a
Sleep, man.
270 heading right there.
All right, so let's turn this a little
Yeah,
more.
I got heading set for 190. Oh, you
Because
said left.
I want to
United
try and
254.
be over this.
I said 010.
010, United 254.
Alright, United 254, turn right. Right turn 010.
Right turn 010, United 254.
Alright, so now let's just go ahead and set this to 1400. Alright, still at 1,000. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make it. Alright, so now let's turn it back. Should be a little. So 1,200 feet per minute, but could be too little too late. I think we're just gonna have to do a regular pattern. Alright. So you know what we're gonna do? Let's take this off of autopilot and let's do this manually. Alright. That was me messing with trim. That trim wheel is sensitive. So we're going to come in, do a teardrop maneuver, and get into the downwind leg, or runway 11. Yeah, we are super high. We are 4,000 feet. Oh man. I still haven't figured out what half a mile or a mile is out. That's usually how far they want you out on the.
American 1113,
Into the
descend and
legs.
maintain 5,000.
Down to 5,000, American 1113.
and that was Potomac.
United 254, looks like you're on the 090 heading now. I need you on a 010 degree heading. 10 degrees.
Alright, we're at 3,000 feet. Working our way to 1,400. Potomac traffic, November 7676 Victor.
And United
inbound
254, if your autopilot's
downwind
acting up, I just suggest
runway
turn it
11.
off and hand fly the airplane.
Oh, no, it's not my autopilot. It's just took me
Alright, we're at 2,500.
I was down on autopilot, so told me a different heading, so that's what I'm doing. You're not even
Alright.
No problem at all. When you're taking off an arrival by a controller, you'll need to switch into heading mode and fly that assigned vector heading. Instead of bringing you all the way out on the paths, I was trying to shortcut you through.
Roger, I understand that, and but it's
I need to keep descending.
United 254. That's what the approach is.
It's actually a star is what it's on, not an approach.
Roger on that star. Excuse me for the wrong nomenclature.
No worries.
Turn's not sharp enough. Alright, so there it goes. It's on my left hand side. Still trying to keep it straight. I'm going to put my landing gear down. There's the runway on my left. We're at 2,000.
American 1113, fly heading 360.
I'm going to put down one flap. I think this only has like 2 flap stages, yeah.
United 254, say your current heading.
Potomac traffic, November 7th.
And United 254, what was your assigned heading?
Runway 11.
My assigned heading
Potomac
would have
traffic.
been,
Potomac.
hang on, I gotta find
Alright, we're going to do landing lights right
United
now.
254, it was a
because I am going to
rhetorical
forget
question. Your assigned heading by the controller was 010, not the course heading on the star, the assigned heading by the controller.
Alright, let's get to put the power in
You
there.
guys always do this. You guys always take it off my flight path. and
So there is...
I've had enough of it. United 254.
United 254, IFR cancellation received, squawk VFR frequency change approved.
You know, I haven't seen that before. There's like a little, that little valley there, but it's flat. I like that. There's this one right here. Potomac traffic, November 7676 Victor, on base, runway 11. So I still need to try and get down to, there's 1400, but I need to start descending, but this mountain range is kind of in the way. And then I need to manage my power as well. Gotta do all of that. Right, there goes
American
final.
1113, hope you enjoyed that show. Descend to maintain 3000.
Potomac traffic, November 7676 Victor, turning on final, runway 11. Potomac traffic. Alright.
I'm still throwing it all the way from Indy.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it down there.
Let's work on that power control. Let's get the final flap down. Alright, so at this point I'm going to stop messing with the trim. We use the rudders to help. You know, why is that tree right there? That almost seems dangerous.
American 1113, New York. Can I ask you a quick question?
Go ahead.
time logged.
Were there any directions I gave to that pilot that seemed unclear, just for my own record? Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
The way I look at it, he wanted to let the plane fly a flight plan in his computer, and that's just not how it works. You gotta get headings out and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened there. He'd rather fly the star instead of the 010 heading I gave to him 10 times. But I'm getting a supervisor involved with retraining that pilot.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it goes. You get headings, you fly it.
It's not that hard a task, I don't think.
Not really.
All right, there we go. Let's wait. Let's keep this on. So they always ding me for the lights, so let's turn everything off except for the beacon. All right, good. Now we can turn off the engine. Starve it of fuel.
Engine off time logged. The flight
Hey,
is
thanks,
finished.
Pac-Man. Appreciate it.
It has been monitored by On Air.
Right, pulling everything out. And I think we're good here, so let's turn that off. And I wish this kept state, so like I'm turning these things off now, but it doesn't really mean anything.
American 1113, turn right heading 060, intercept the ILS 908 localizer.
Because as soon as I come back in, I believe it'll just start over. I can turn off
Right
that.
060, enter.
Oh, I just turned off radio, so alright. And I think, let's see here. Good, or good. The alternator and the battery. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to put the magnetos back. Okay. So everything is good, guess. Alright. So now let's take a look and see what On Air thinks. On Air thought it was a very smooth landing. Oh, very nice. And any negatives? There we go. So aircraft stalled. Yep, right when I took off. All right, that's my bad. I'll work on that reputation. Okay, so that's saved. All right, gang. So I have to go. I am 11 minutes late, but thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you being here. So I'm Tabletop Android. I currently stream Mondays and Fridays. I'm trying to think if there's another time that I'm going to stream, which is I think Wednesday, because we have Bush Wednesday from the Pilot Club, and that should be exciting. So we'll see. So maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We'll see. But I'm a aviation enthusiast, which means I do not have my private license yet. But next year I'm going to be working on that. So this is my journey into getting into becoming a real pilot. My goal is to be a corporate pilot, so I want to fly jets, private jets, and turboprop planes. I'm not interested in the airliners. All right, so yeah, Pac-Man. I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you being here, and I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.